Hey everybody, it's Paul Ramsay with Dr. Manny St. Victor, and we are back with another episode of Hypnotic Thoughts. And today we are following up on a previous episode in which we talked about hypnotic induction, self-hypnosis, simple self-hypnosis induction, and that's literally all we did. And that's cool, but you know, you need a little more than that. So today we're going to talk about deepening. Is that cool, Manny?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right. So, first of all, I feel like we should talk a little bit about deepening itself.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about deepening. Well, here's the thing. Deepening, where are you going?
Yeah.
There's no, you know, it's not like you can, it's hard. It's like we have to use language, right? We have to try to use language that connotes something about what we feel like we're trying to do. But it's not like you can measure it. It's not like you can, you know, and that's what hypnotists have tried to do for a long time now. There's the Aaron's scale, there's the Lacron-Bordeaux scale, there's the Stanford scale, and some of them have, like the Aaron scale has 6 levels. Simple. I like it. You know, the Stanford scale has, I don't know, it's got like 20 or something like that. Like,
Wow.
it's got a lot.
Yeah.
And so, again, it's like, okay, well, you can put criteria and say you have to be at least this deep to do this. But still, you're like, deep? What do you mean deep? Like, it's in someone's head, you know?
Yeah.
So, I think for the people who are watching this, what I'm trying to get across is you know, don't get too attached to the word. And you know, I think a healthy way to think about deepening, I think what really happens when people get deeper in hypnosis is they get more focused.
Okay.
The deeper people go, the more they seem to shed any and all things which might distract them from being completely focused on whatever it is you're trying to do with them. Now, that is, they still may have their mind wander a little bit here and there, stuff like that. But it just seems like, you know, when you've got someone in a real light level of hypnosis, there may be a lot more wandering thoughts, a lot more attentiveness to outside sounds.
Okay.
The more you get people deep into hypnosis, it seems, in my experience, the more that all that stuff gets stripped away, and they get more and more focused on whatever you're talking to them about, whatever you're asking them to think about, whatever you're asking them to do. Sensible?
Yes.
Okay. So the next thing is people tend to ask, like, okay, so how do you deepen? And that's another thing is, like, look, you got to understand there's a lot of ways to deepen. There's, you know, it's just like there's hundreds and hundreds of inductions. There's all kinds of ways to deepen. What you're trying to, as I drop my pen, what you're trying to do is, again, you want to have a way of providing some kind of structure, some kind of protocol, some kind of guidance to lead people to that deeper place.
Okay.
I think what you'll find is most people will either deepen through, one really common thing is realization.
Okay.
And you'll hear people talk about testing. So we do an induction, we get you into hypnosis, and then we give you some sort of task which functions as a test of whether or not you're even hypnotized, maybe, or of just, can you do this? And if you can do this, whatever it is, once you do it, you realize, whoa, I just did that. I'm really hypnotized, and you go deeper. So there's this process of, deepening through realization is often done through things like catalepsy, getting an arm to levitate, or getting an arm to get stuck. There's a popular thing where people have them kind of do this with their arm, and they get it real tight, and they go try to bend it down, and they're going like this, and they can't, you know, like there's things like that sometimes. If you go old school, I talked about this in the earlier episode. Dave Ellman used to have people forget numbers. He'd have them start at 100, and count backwards from 100, and every time they counted a number back, they were supposed to double whatever feeling of relaxation they had, so that it was compounding, doubling the doubling and doubling the doubling. And the idea was to get so relaxed that just the numbers all disappeared. And if you read his book, Hypnotherapy, what he talks about in that section where he explains that is he was focused on trying to achieve mental relaxation. And I think that's a nice way to think about it is, you know, typically inductions, they don't all involve physical relaxation, but a lot of them do. They involve some level of patter or talking and getting people to physically relax more. And then what Elman would do is say, okay, now you're physically relaxed, let's get mentally relaxed. And what he says in his book is when you get people really mentally relaxed, they go to that somnambulistic state, that deep hypnosis state, where you can really get powerful things done with them. So he used to do it with the counting or fractionation. Fractionation is literally just like your eyes are closed, and you open your eyes, and then you close your eyes, and then you open your eyes, and then you close. And the idea was, Bernheim, again, old school hypnotist, Bernheim found that when his client came in, the first time was like, yeah, he got into light hypnosis. And then like the next session he came back for, like a week later, he went a little deeper into hypnosis. And a little and finally by like the 5th time the client had come in, then he really started going into deep hypnosis. And so Bernheim was smart enough to think, well, why make him come back week after week? What if you just put him through 5 sessions worth of going into hypnosis and coming out in one day, like in one session? So he started having them, you do an induction, and then be like, open your eyes, so that they come out. And then you go, all right, close your eyes and go back again. And he'd do it right in that one, and boom, they'd go to that deeper. So that's, you know, he kind of discovered the concept of fractionation. And so there are different ways of doing that. Some people will do it conversationally.
Okay.
They'll just, you know, they'll be talking to you and then say, why don't you go ahead and open your eyes now? How do you feel? And they'll kind of process with you with your eyes open, and then say, okay, go ahead, take a nice deep breath, and close your eyes now. And they close their eyes, and they go, now let yourself go twice as deep into relaxation as before. And they keep repeating this process of open your eyes, talk a little bit, close your eyes, patter. We call, you know, patters more of that, like maybe you change your tone and maybe you have certain words you like to use, and you know. And so what I'm trying to get at in talking about these different things, again, no right or wrong, just different. And what, you know, if you're going to practice this as a continuing thing of learning self-hypnosis, try some different things, see what feels right for you, see what feels good, you know. If you like losing the numbers, lose the numbers. If you like the idea of just doing fractionation, opening your eyes, and taking a nice big deep breath and closing your eyes and going back into hypnosis but going deeper, then do fractionation. No right or wrong. So, any questions about that so far, Manny?
Well, just to kind of reflect my thought process on this, what I find a lot in walking people through cognitive restructuring is that often people don't realize how they're able to navigate their mental and emotional space until you know, a guided visualization or talking them through it or co-thinking through it. We call it collaborative empiricism, where you help them think of other possibilities and behavior choices. It seems to me that that's where, by walking a person through the possibility of a deeper trance, a deeper state of relaxation, it brings to their attention these different states that are in there that are within their power to navigate to.
Yeah, and some people take that really literally, and they want to know, well, how deep can I go?
Mm-hmm.
And other people sort of naturally intuit that that's just an endless, you know, you can go as deep as you want to go.
Yeah.
It might be nice for you to explore that right now, you know, and just let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny how some people have a real need to have experiences defined before they have them, and other people don't want that. Other people like, don't define my experience. You let me do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, no right or wrong, just different. Both. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Right now, my brain is processing how that relates to personalities. Pretty much. That's a whole different episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, that's, I think, one of the big takeaways for today for this episode is, I understand that people sometimes want to have everything laid out and defined, like this is how it should be. But hypnosis really isn't like that. There's a lot of different things you bring to the table as the person practicing self-hypnosis. There's a lot of things that you bring to the table if you go to see a hypnotist. That hypnotist may have a way that they like to do things, but you're the one getting hypnotized, and you have to communicate how you want to be hypnotized, and be a good communicator and help them figure out how to best help you get to that place that we call hypnosis. It can be as simple as, you know, progressive relaxation is an older traditional thing that still happens a lot. We talked about that when we were talking about mindfulness techniques a few episodes ago, right? Of like, tighten up something and then let it relax. And some people like to start at the top of their head and like imagine like, okay, I'm scrunching and then I'm relaxing, and then I'm going to do my forehead and I'm going to scrunch my forehead and then I'm going to relax, right? Well, some people may want to start at their feet, and they may want to scrunch their toes and work everything up. It's amazing what a difference that can mean for some people sometimes. So be willing to try it different ways. Be willing to explore different methods, whether it's inductions or today we're focusing on deepening. So, but let's do some. Let's do some. So we'll repeat the same induction that we did last time, and then we'll just take the next step and we'll go into deepening.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to want to make sure that you're seated in a safe place with good head and neck support. You may want to lay on a couch. You may want to lay on a bed. You may want to lay back in a recliner. You can sit in a chair if you want to. You just need to kind of decide, like, if I get more relaxed, will I let my head go forward? Will I let it go to the side? What am I going to do? You know, sort of mentally prepare for how you'll let yourself relax.
Yeah.
No listening to this while you're driving in a car. No watching this on YouTube or anything while you're home and have some other activity going on that should have your attention. Cooking stoves and stuff like that. You know, this should only be something you do when you can give it your full undivided attention. You're going to want to take 3 nice big deep breaths in, every time breathing way down deep, so that your belly really pushes out. Give yourself a pot belly. Relax the abdominals and give yourself a big old pot belly on purpose. First time, nice big deep breath in. Breathe out and relax. Try to let everything relax and feel things settle and relax down. Second breath, even deeper in. Breathe out, relax. Third breath, deepest one so far. Breathe in. Breathe out, relax, and let your eyes close. Now you're going to go a little bit more internal. You're going to be more aware of the way your body feels, the way the weight of your body is resting wherever you are right now. You're going to bring your attention up to your eyes. Notice the way your eyes feel, your eyelids, the area around your eyes. You're going to focus on that idea of your eyes getting so relaxed that they just won't work. Of the tiny little muscles that control your eyes, your eyelids, getting so peacefully relaxed that they won't push or pull. They just rest there, completely relaxed, peaceful, and calm. And when you have found that you've thought about that idea, you've processed it, thought about it so well, that you actually feel a difference. Maybe your eyes feel heavier, maybe they feel lighter, maybe they feel empty, maybe they just feel weird. But somehow feeling different in a way that you can really notice. then you can show yourself that you've relaxed them completely by trying to open your eyes just one time and finding that they won't open. And then showing yourself that you've achieved that wonderful level of relaxation, you can release it so that it goes through all the muscles of your body. You can let that relaxation go down through your face, down through your neck, down through your shoulders. It can go down back between your shoulder blades, down through your lower back. It can go down through the front of your shoulders, down into your chest, down through your abdominal muscles. You can go down through your arms, down your triceps, your biceps, your elbows, your forearms. That relaxation can go right down through your wrists into your hands, all the way to the tips of your fingers. It can go from your torso right down through your waist into your legs, down through the quad muscles in the front of your legs and down through the hamstrings in the back of your legs. It can go down through your knees, down the front of your shins, down through your calves, right down through your ankles, all the way to the soles of your feet, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Every muscle, every nerve, every fiber of your body, wonderfully and peacefully relaxed. And now that you've achieved this level of physical relaxation, the next step in the process would be to give yourself the gift of mental relaxation. And since we are demonstrating Mr. Ellman's method today, we'll use his deepening method. In your mind, picture the number 100. And then just erase it from your mind. You might imagine your hand coming up and wiping it away, or it might evaporate. It might crumble and fall apart. It might just blink off like turning a light off. Whatever way feels right for you, looks right for you, is right for you. Make that number disappear and double whatever relaxation feeling you have right now. And then go to the next number and see the next number, 99, in your mind. And then make that number disappear and double your level of relaxation. You can go to 98 and then make that disappear and double your level of relaxation again. Now keep in mind that when you're doing this, you're really exponentially deepening the relaxation. You're doubling and doubling and doubling every time. So as you go deeper to 97 and then making that disappear and doubling the relaxation again, we're getting very deeply relaxed now. So that as you go down to the next number, you may really start to struggle to find that next number as you get more and more relaxed. And you keep this process going until you get so relaxed that the numbers just disappear and you can't find any more numbers. As you're practicing this, if you should find that you get down into the mid-80s and you still aren't losing the numbers, that's some part of you that's kind of clinging to them. And you have to remind yourself that the goal is to relax by letting them go. So if you get to the mid-80s, you can just tell yourself to let them all go and just stop seeing them. No more numbers, just clear, calm, empty, quiet space. And then from here, the next step would be to move to what we call utilization. We're going to talk about that in a future episode. So for today, we're all done. So I'm going to count from 1 up to 3, and at the number 3, you can let your eyes open. You'll remember everything you thought about and everything that you heard me talk to you about during this practice session today. Starting with the number 1, gather all the good energy, the positive energy in your body and your mind, feeling optimistic, refreshed, Looking forward to learning more about self-hypnosis. As you go to 2, you can double that refreshing, positive energy. And at the last and final number, releasing yourself completely from hypnosis for today at the number 3. There. Nice. So pretty simple, right? I mean, that's really, we're just focusing on the idea of numbers, going downward from 100 downward, doubling the relaxation every time. And like I said, if you get to like 85 and you're still finding numbers, it means you're clinging to the numbers. And you really just need to have a moment where you go, just let them go. And you let them go and make them all go away. If you really get stuck on that, it's because you're not getting past the critical faculty of your conscious mind. So you really don't have a good hypnotic state going in the first place. Because if you were able to get the eyes stuck, you should have gotten past the critical faculty there, right, in order to get the eyes stuck. But now you're clinging to the numbers. Something's not right. You're not congruent kind of with being cool of letting things go, right?
Yeah.
So for some people, you just need that. Some people need that practice. Now, if you've tried it and tried it and tried it, and you're like, this is just not working for me, then I would say then you move on to something else. You move to a different kind of deepener. Maybe just following your breath, of really following your breath. And every time you breathe out, imagine that you're breathing out any stress, tension, or irritation that might be left in your body or your mind. Breathing it out and getting more and more relaxed. People who like visual stuff, a real popular thing is to imagine yourself at the top of a flight of stairs and just walking down the stairs. And every time you step down, you're going deeper into hypnosis. And they literally call that a step-down deepener.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So another way to do it is to just do a 10 down to 1 count. And in your mind, you draw the number 10. And then you wipe it clean and you just relax more. And then you do 9 and you wipe it clean and you relax more. And you do that. And when you get down to 1, you're like, okay, that's it. I went from 10 down to 1. And there's a kind of symbolic, like, I just went from 10 down to 1. I went deeper, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah? That's it. It's simple. Sometimes that's the thing that people can't get their head around, is that they expect it to be like all like crazy, right? But it's real simple.
Yeah, same thing with the mindfulness.
Yeah.
I like to remind people that John Kabat-Zinn says that's all there is. That's it.
Yeah.
But it's so important.
Yeah. And again, the nice thing is if you do this and you make the effort to practice it, again, we're talking about 3 short breaths, get the eyes stuck, then send the relaxation from getting them stuck through the rest of your body. That's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
When you really start practicing and you get really good at it, that's 30 seconds max.
Yeah.
Then you do the deepening, and that's another, when you've practiced it and you get good at it, that's another 5 seconds. That's a lot of clients that I've taught it to. They go 100, 99, 98, numbers are gone.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's a very accessible, fast
micro-hypnosis.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So we'll follow up with one more episode in the future, you guys. We will link to the first episode. If you missed it and you want to go back, the first one on this topic, where we talked about induction and self-hypnosis, we'll put a link on this post to that. And then join us. We've been doing this like every other week, really. So not next week, but the week after, we'll come back to this topic again, and we'll do utilization. And we'll talk about how do you really make suggestions that are helpful once you get to this point where you've done the induction and the deepener. Okay, now I want to use it somehow. How do you make simple suggestions that are effective and that will help you out? And that'll kind of wrap up the basics of self-hypnosis.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
All right. Cool. All right, you guys. Check out Hypnotic Thoughts. Circle us up on our Google Plus page. And Manny's got his own page, and I've got my own page. So there's 3 different pages right there.
Yep.
And thanks for hanging out with us.
Have a good week, everyone.